Everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you two stocks to keep on your watch list for tomorrow. We're also going to look at the overall markets and discuss what to expect in the morning. Y'all, let's get started right off the bat. We got the NASDAQ, all right? We're gonna start with the NASDAQ today. So, if you didn't watch my last video, I told y'all there was going to be a massive move with the markets. And we definitely got that massive move. And as you can see, the NASDAQ went exactly where it was supposed to go. It got into that circle. I told you guys it would get there. And now that it got there, things are looking a little shaky. There's some turbulence going on. And things are not looking too great for tomorrow. They're not. I think we might potentially roll over. I do. Like if tomorrow is the lackluster day, then I guess things are just gonna consolidate sideways and not much is gonna happen. But with the way everything is looking now, I'm leaning more bearish than I am bullish. Also, the VIX started to climb back up. All right. And every single time the VIX get down to this specific level at 1250, it pushes higher. So I see a reverse head and shoulders. We got left shoulder, we got a head, then we got a right shoulder. Well, it's more like a triple bottom, but you get the point. All right. So I do expect, just based off of this structure alone, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a sell-off in the markets and we see the VIX go back up to the neckline at 14.5. All right. Today the price action of the VIX was just creeping up all day, even though half of the day for the SPY and QQQ was bullish. This thing was just climbing slowly higher and higher and higher. Eventually, it started selling off at afternoon, but this one was just going all day. So tomorrow we'll see how things open up. All right. So just take things day by day, and look for day trading opportunities because there was some today. Now, the first stock to keep on watch for tomorrow. That stock is mRNA. All right. And the reason why I want to share mRNA with y'all is because of this. The structure that I see is on the 5 minutes. And it actually just broke down like a few minutes before the market closed right over here. There is a descending triangle on the chart. It's right here. All right. And then we got that right there. And it broke down about 25 minutes before the market opened, and into the close there was a lot of selling volume. All right, so with this right there, this information alone, I wouldn't be surprised to see mRNA drop all the way down to $98 at least. So depending on how it opens, that will determine how much more money there is to be made on a potential day trade. All right, unless if it opens up at 98 or below, short sellers are going to cover, and then it's gonna stay at the bottom for about like 10 to 15 minutes before it runs back up to 103. So just keep that in mind. If it opens up at the same price, then watch it for a drop. If it opens up super low, just know that it's not going to stay down there for too long. Like I'm talking about low to this previous level of support. All right, so that's the first stock to keep on watch. Now looking at this one on the daily, let's see. It has some room at the bottom. There is a gap right here to fill. Eventually it's going to get filled, right? But overall, it's still beating down. It's just going through waves right now, and it's making lower highs like here, lower highs and lower lows and lower high, and then we're about to see another fall. Now the second stock The second stock that I want to share with all of you for tomorrow, that stock is a bit more overvalued. It's CYTK. Yeah, CYTK. Now with this one, it had, as there was some event right here. I don't know if they released some type of news on their research or a new drug or something like that. But something happened with the stock, and they shot up from 40 all the way up into the 80s. All right, and right now it looks like it's rolling over slowly, or it's about to roll over. There's lots of room at the bottom. All right, and there is a structure also on a 5 minute, which is very hard to see given the price action. Like, it's kind of hard to see, but a similar structure to mRNA is also present on this one. A bearish pennant that literally broke out in the last 5 minutes of market hours. All right, so watch this one for a drop down to 77 right here. Okay, and also pay attention to the first 5 minutes of trading hours and look at the volume. If you see volume that's greater than, what is this, 71,000. Like if you see volume that's almost double the size, maybe 150,000 or 200,000 during that first candle, then the odds for a sell-off on this one are good. And when I zoom out even more, let me just erase that first drawing that I put out. And we're gonna go on the 15-minute right here. All right. Now, there is a bigger bearish pennant, a much bigger bearish pennant on the charts. That also broke down at the close today. All right, so watch this one for a drop. Now, I did say two stocks, but there is a third one. And this one is a stock that a lot of people have been talking about. Some of you have even been asking me questions about it. Somebody asked, when is it time to actually short it? I'm going to answer that question today. That stock is DWAC. All right. And DWAC looks like this. It had a massive push all the way up to $62 pre-market. And then retested that level, and all of these pre-market shorts added back to their position and shorted the stock even more. All right, for people who borrow shares to short, I'm talking about these individuals. Right, so they're shorting this thing. And then today it had a little bit of a bounce, making a lower low. So we have this high, making a lower high, I mean. So we have this high at 62, then the next high 55, and then the next high is 50. And then we have the intraday descending triangle right there. If I just connect these lines right there. All right. So this one, and then I'm going to erase this line and do this. All right. There. So this thing breaks down. A lot of sellers in the shorts people are panicking. All right. And also short sellers are adding on to their position. This is the part where the hype is pretty much gone. And this is the parts where we fade for 2 to 3 months. To the person who mentioned that in the comment section of like one of my videos, this is the part. Yeah. So I'm bearish on the stock. It's not gonna go back up to 60. That's done. It done that already, and people are taking their money off the table, and they're taking their money off the table. And notice how I'm just gonna zoom in. I think the 15-minute is good. Yeah, I think the 15-minute is, the 15-minute is good. Just look at the big picture. Look at the difference in volume. Pay attention to that. So we got huge volume over here. All right, and then we got half the volume, nearly half the volume, with more of like a retest. Look at the height of these bars compared to the height of these bars, right? So we got half of the volume from this day, and then today it's even worse. It's much more like 2/3 of this volume. So the volume is dropping, and people are kind of losing interest in the stock, and it's selling off right now. So watch it for a drop all the way down to it's gonna fade. So wherever it was in the beginning, it's gonna get there in the end. All right, it's all depends on how long is it going to take, how fast the drop is going to, how slow or how fast the stock is actually going to drop. That's the main question. Will it play games in between before it drops? All right, that's something that to consider. It can either do this or it can just fall flat. Again, either way, it's going in the same direction. So now some updates. Yesterday's video was I mentioned some stocks in there. A lot of them did great, and some didn't behave as well as I thought they would. So first one was QQQ, which made it up to the price that it was intended to go. I'm talking about the Nasdaq. When I say QQQ, it made it up here. The next one was SPY, and SPY didn't really. I missed the top on SPY by like $8. It only got to $4.99, and then it started to peel back. All right, so I guess it did its thing. The other one was Baidu, which jumped overnight. Again, I told y'all the stock was going to go crazy that day. All right, and those calls were up by like I think 70% or 80%. And then it didn't do what I told y'all it would do. It did the first part, which was to jump. I was expecting that. And then it just stagnated throughout the entire day. It didn't push up to 115. When is it going to do so? I don't know. I could have been 1 day too early. I could have been 2 days too early. It might take a week and drag its feet between like between 111 and 104, right? It could just stagnate for a while before we see another jump. But as of right now, I don't know. I don't know how fast Baidu is going to get up there. I don't know. If there is another clue intraday somewhere or in the bigger picture, then yeah, I will address it again. But as of right now, I don't know about this one. Now, the last stock that I've mentioned, actually no, the third stock that I've mentioned was Netflix. And congrats to anybody who made some money on Netflix. I told you guys, I gave you simple instructions. If you haven't watched that video, I'm gonna pin it at the top right section of, like at the top right corner of the video. That way you can click on it and watch. I gave you very basic instructions. I told you set an alert at 540. And then if it rings, opportunity, that's when you strike, right? So it rang like right out the gates. This thing, it opened at 537. And then within the first 3 minutes, that bell should have rung for all of you, right? So there was opportunity to make some money on the stock. It went way beyond 550 and stopped at 562. Now, the last stock was, I mean, it surprised me. It surprised me as well. Like with this one right here. I thought this one was going to make a similar move as Netflix did today. I thought it was going to make a similar move as SQ as well, because SQ pulled this off. Now we're going to compare to some of you who may have taken this thing at the open, which again, I told y'all the appropriate time to get into these plays is when you catch it. Again, this one was supposed to be here, and Roku right here, right at the close. At that specific moment, there was two opportunities. We took Microsoft because Microsoft looked exactly like this. So it was either this bullish pennant or it was the Microsoft bullish pennant. We took Microsoft, all right? And this thing went high like this. Unfortunately, it was struggling out the gates, and the play was dead when it broke below the pre-market low at $93. Once it broke below that, then everybody who pretty much got in here took their money off, and then later on during the day, it showed a bearish pennant that broke down. This is a day trading opportunity to the short side. It broke down when the SPY and the Nasdaq pretty much started to pull back. Now, in regards to this one, is it going to go to $89? Not anytime soon. At least I don't think it's gonna get there tomorrow. It might need more time, and it needs more structure in order for me to know exactly when and where it's gonna get there. But That's my thoughts on all of these stocks. And that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. I release these videos from Sunday to Thursday at 10 p.m. Central Time. So definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. To get all of this information in real time as I see them, if you'd like to be part of a private Discord community, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul Nguma and the Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Nguma with Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.